Company. Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a great day. Y'all, today we're going to do something really fun with this old muffin tin that I have. I picked this muffin tin up at a thrift store. It's actually in pretty good shape. Of course, we don't want it to look this nice, so we're going to distress it a bit, and then we're going to add some pumpkin pies into the little muffin tins, okay? So I have got my muffin tin, I've got some large pom-poms, and then I've got some fabric here. An orange fabric that's going to work well for the pumpkin pies. And then I've also got some just kind of like a muslin type fabric. I've also got some lace here that I thought about using as well. So I'm not sure which one I'm going to use. We'll see how it goes. But this is going to be really cute, a little bit on the rustic side. And I think y'all are going to like this a lot. So when you hop on, say, hey, let me know you're watching. Tomorrow, if you are an email subscriber, you're going to be getting an email in your inbox about a really exciting product that is launching tomorrow. Or not launching tomorrow. It's launching on Friday. But if you're an email subscriber, you're going to find out tomorrow. And you're going to have first access and first dibs on that. So if you're not an email subscriber, now's your chance. You want to make sure that you're joining us in your email because you don't want to miss out on this. And then we will announce this on Friday to all of you. Y'all are going to love it. You do not want to miss out on this because it's going to be really good. So set your alarms. I will be live at 10 a.m. on Friday to tell you all about it. All right. So you don't want to miss that either. So make sure you set your alarms for that. And again, if you're not an email subscriber, make sure you subscribe to our email. You can go to thecelebrationcompany.com to do that. All right. Let's see who we've got joining me today. Hey, Stacy. Hi, Loda. Hi, Tina. Oh, I'm so sorry, Tina. I hope you get to feeling better soon. Hey, Jennifer. Hi, Rosemarie. Hi, Chrissy. Hey, Dorothy. Hey, Pam. Hello, April. Hi, Danae. I missed you guys too. Sorry I could not join y'all yesterday. Hey, Cindy. Hi, Rhonda. Hello, Darlene. Hi, Dorothy. Hi, Donna and Carol and Jessalyn. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Glenda. Hey, Jennifer. Good to see all of y'all. Yes, I'm sorry I missed you guys yesterday. It has just been a busy, busy, busy week. This week is always busy in my life because I have 4 birthdays in 1 week time in my immediate family. So Andrew's birthday is first. His was Monday. My father-in-law's was Tuesday. Mine is tomorrow. And then my papaw's wife's is on Monday. So all in 7 days time, there are 4 birthdays. So that makes it busy for one. But there's a lot going on with the celebration company that makes it busy as well. So there's lots of celebrating, lots of working, lots of things going on. So it's just busy. And yesterday, Trisha has been off as well because she has been sick. She's had the flu. So she has not been in. And Patty's daughter just got married at her house this weekend. And so she's had a lot going on. It's just been crazy around here. And so yesterday we were trying to get caught up on things. And I also have been trying to celebrate my husband. So last night I cooked from 7 to about 10 o'clock last night, trying to prep y'all. The meal that he has requested tonight is just a very in-depth meal, and it takes a lot of time. So cheesecake, made the cheesecake last night. I got to finish it today. I put together the spinach artichoke dip last night. It's in the fridge. I got to bake it off tonight. I went ahead and I made my lasagna chips for the spinach artichoke dip. And this morning I got the steak marinating for the Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. So y'all, it's one of those meals. But it's okay because that's what he wants. That's all he wants, and that's totally fine. So, anyways, it's been busy. Finally get to see you too. I'm so glad, Teresa. Happy birthday. Thank you guys so much. All right. Okay. Hello everybody. If I haven't seen you or said hello. So glad to see all of y'all. I can't wait for y'all to find out what's going on Friday. But it's so good to see y'all. Okay, so let's get into it. So let's start with our muffin tin here, and we are going to get some paint on here and just distress this a bit, okay? Because we want this to look a little bit more rustic. So I'm going to grab some milk chocolate. Oh, yay, Lori. So y'all, spinach artichoke dip, I shared it last night. I love Applebee's spinach artichoke dip. It's my favorite. And I have tried so many recipes, copycat recipes, all the things to try and get Applebee's spinach artichoke dip. None of them even come close. I'm telling you, none come close. So every time I make it, I do something different to try and get it to match theirs. The difference is that most recipes for spinach artichoke dip are thick. They are a thick dip because they're made with cream cheese, they're made with sour cream, shredded cheese. You know, they're usually like a thick dip. And I got to thinking the other day, Applebee's is not thick. It's runny, usually. And so I was grabbing some queso for nachos on Monday night, and I thought, wait a second, maybe let me try some queso. Maybe something like that might work. So I don't know, we'll see, but I added queso to my artichoke dip. I mean, basically it's cheese, so you know it can't be bad. So I'm curious how that's going to turn out. I'm also curious whether Andrew's going to fuss about it or not. So we'll see. Do y'all want to take votes on whether or not he's going to fuss? I don't know, Janae. So I'm curious. When I tasted it, when it was cold last night, I thought, okay, hang on. We might be getting somewhere. It would make sense to me that a restaurant would make their spinach dip like that, because that would be an easy way to do it. So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out tonight after it, you know, cooks and everything. We'll see if it's any good. So who knows? But I've tried it so many different ways. One thing I've started doing that I used to not do is I do not get the excess water out of my spinach. In fact, I prefer the excess water. Again, to help make it a little bit more on the runny side, I keep that excess moisture in there. Good morning, Kathy. So right now I'm just taking my pouncer here, and I am just using some milk chocolate and just dabbing this onto the muffin tin. Just all randomly. I want to just make it look rusted. Okay. The insides are all going to be covered, so we don't need to worry so much about the insides, because that is not going to show. But it's all this other area that is going to show, and we just want to distress it a bit. Hopefully, Jeslyn. Hopefully. I'm hoping once it cooks, it's even better, you know, because hopefully then, and I'm kind of like letting it marinate since I did it yesterday. So I'm hoping all those flavors, you know, the spinach really flavors everything, and, you know, we'll see. Okay, I think I'm going to grab some raw umber as well. Yes, Dorothy, he does. Now, of course, we also have the lasagna chips, which, I mean, that right there is good enough. You know, you really don't even need the dip. Just the chips would be good. And I did post yesterday a link in the comments to the recipe that I last used when I last made the spinach artichoke dip. So if you're interested, I posted that yesterday in that post that I did. Yes, Jeslyn. So that's what I've done that as well. I've done all those. I've used all those different things. I've never used queso in it, so we'll see. And usually I use some kind of like Italian blend cheese. This time I used Monterey Jack. Like a more creamier melting cheese. I did still use some Parmesan on it, just on the top though. All right, so this is how it's looking so far. Okay. So it's starting to really look a little bit more aged and rustic, which is exactly what we want. Just want this to look like an old rusted muffin tin. And the combination of the raw umber and the milk chocolate, I think, makes it look very authentic. Now, you could also use some cinnamon here if you wanted to. Possibly, Lisa. It was definitely thinner than it usually is with the queso, but it wasn't as thin as Applebee's is, so I don't know. We'll see. Which really, the consistency, the thickness isn't as important as the flavor. So, all right, I think that this is looking pretty good. I think I'm happy with this. Okay, so again, the inside of the muffin tins doesn't matter. Okay, I'm gonna go on and just give this a quick dry. Make sure we're still happy with this. And then we're gonna work on our pies. All right, I think that looks really good. I like it. Okay, so I have got some pom-poms. These are the pom-poms that Dollar Tree usually has. They sell them at Christmas, I think, and they also sell them at Easter. They call them bunny tails, I think, at Easter time. And then at Christmas, I think they call them snowballs. Okay, so basically the same thing. And these we're going to cut in half. Now, I chose a size that fit well inside the muffin tin. So that's the important part. If you don't have a pom-pom, I think you could just use some batting as well. All right, so I'm going to cut these in half. Now, some of them might fall apart on me, but if it falls apart a little, I'm not super concerned with that, okay? So we're just going to cut 6 of them in half. Good, Denise. I am glad it looks old and rusty like I want it to. Okay, I've already got 2 here. And I'm just being gentle with them so they don't fall apart. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, one more. 11, 12. Okay. Now, I have got some fabric here, this rusty looking orangey fabric, which I think is going to be perfect for a pumpkin pie. And we are going to basically just kind of cover these little pom-poms. So I'm going to take and cut some squares. Just going to cut some strips. I'm going to cut this right in half because it looks about the right size. And then we'll cut this way. So these squares are about 4 by 4, 4 by 5, somewhere around in there. 5 by 5-ish. Okay, there's 4. 5, 6, 7. Betsy, I got them from Dollar Tree. I'm sorry, Betty. 8. 9, 10. Y'all, this doesn't have to be perfect. 11 and 12. Okay, so we've got our 12 pieces, 12 little squares. So now what I'm going to do is take my little pom-poms. I'm going to lay on the rounded side down. And we're just going to wrap our fabric around to just cover them, okay? So I'm just going to take some hot glue, just put on the flat side. And I'm just going to pull the fabric up. I really should probably have this hot glue gun on low temp, but I don't. Is that the way I want to do this? Or would it be easier to do this a different way? Okay. So then basically that'll just sit right inside there, and that's going to be our little pie. And we're going to eventually press this down, but I don't want to press it down in and glue it down until I decide what I'm going to do for my crust. I've got a couple of options for my crust. I'm going to see if it might be easier to do this a different way. I'm going to go grab some rubber bands. Let's try that. I mean, I don't want to burn myself. I'm a little worried I am going to burn myself. So I'm just going to pick this up like that. This might be a better option. Okay. What I can do is maybe loosen it a bit. Okay. All right, I think that's going to work. Okay, so let me grab some small rubber bands here. So we don't want it to be super tight. Hello, Can Do Creations. Thanks for joining. Thank you, Jackie. Okay, and I'm just fitting them inside just to make sure they're not too small, okay, into the muffin tin. I'm just kind of bringing the corners up and then just kind of gathering it together. There could be a better way to do this. I don't know. And then you can kind of, if it's a little too tight, just kind of pull on it. All right, so we'll just repeat that on all 12. Hey Debbie, I am making a pumpkin pie muffin tin. Okay, so we've got our muffin tin here. We made it look rusty. And now we're working on our pumpkin pies that we're going to put into each little muffin tin. Muffin hole. What's it called? Do you call it? I mean, the muffin tin would be the whole thing, right? Muffin section? Compartment? I don't know. And like I said, if you don't have the pom-poms, you could use some batting here as well. Just a little bit of batting would work just fine. Cup. That's it. Let's call it that. A muffin cup. Okay. So I have to decide. I've got lace, this lace here, and then I've got fabric. I have to decide, do I want to do the lace for the crust or the fabric for the crust? I'm not sure which one I think is going to look better. I think the fabric's going to be more forgiving, but maybe a little harder to do. Thank you, Dorothea. He did, Jackie. Thank you. Well, actually, we're celebrating a little bit tonight, just the three of us, with the meal that he has requested. That's basically what he gets for his birthday from me, is a meal. Whatever meal he wants. And of course, he chooses one of the most complicated meals that I make. It's not even that it's complicated. It's just that those dang chips take forever to sit and dredge all of them. All right, we're almost there. Okay, here's how it's looking. We got 3 more to go. Dorothea, I mean, I don't even know if I'd call it a meal. Spinach artichoke dip and lasagna chips. And Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. And cheesecake. Animal cookie cheesecake, which I shared the recipe last night. So like I said, I spent 3 hours cooking yesterday, prepping for this, from 7 to 10 last night. All right, one more. It's an odd combination, y'all, I think. I mean, Philly cheesesteaks is one thing, but when you throw in the spinach artichoke dip, that's what takes time. Mostly just because of the chips. If we didn't do chips, if we just did tortilla chips, it wouldn't take hardly any time. Okay. All right. We've got them all ready. Okay. So we've wrapped all of our little pom-poms. And these are going to be, once we get this ready, they're going to be kind of pushed down in. So they're not right now. You could go in and like trim off a little bit of that just to make them sit down in there a little bit further, which might make it just a little bit easier so you're not having to like really push them and hold on them while your glue dries. So now we have to decide on the crust. Yes, Jackie. So they're called lasagna chips. I've shared the recipe with y'all before. They're made with lasagna noodles. And basically you just take lasagna noodles, cook them, and then you cut them into chip shapes. And you dredge them in flour, egg, and panko. And then fry them. Okay. So I want to see what this looks. So this is the lace. Let's see how this looks. So I was envisioning the lace going just on the inside, and then the little pie coming in just like that. Okay, it is kind of cute, but is it going to read pie is my question. Now, if we do this, I think this is going to definitely read pie a little bit better. We're going to just take a piece and tear it like this and just have a little strip. And then we'll just, around the edge, we're going to just pinch and go all the way around the edge with this to create, and we'll also use some distress ink as well to create our crust. So what do y'all think? Which one? I know, Larissa, it is empty. I took all the crafty kits or the DIY decor box stuff off and just left the other stuff. A little shorter. Do you get to pick a birthday meal for him to make for you? Chrissy, no, because I expect to be taken out for my birthday. That is one of my favorite things to do, is go out to dinner, especially to new restaurants. I just love it. It's one of my favorite things to do. So I don't want a meal at home. I want to go out. Okay, let's see here. Oh, we're all over the place. Lace, fabric, lace, or fabric, 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 lace, fabric, 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 fabric. Okay, I think we're going to go with the fabric. All right. The lace is really cute, but I just don't know if it reads pie. You know, that's my worry. Okay, so since we're doing the fabric, we can go on and put our filling into our muffin tins. So I'm just going to apply some hot glue in the bottom, and then I'm just going to go around the edges here. And then I'll just push the pie filling in and just kind of press it down a little bit. And then we'll do the same thing on the rest. So I'm just putting a big dollop of glue in the bottom, and then I'm going around the edges, kind of halfway up the sides. Okay, so you can see how they set down a little bit. They're not puffed up as much, because pumpkin pie is flat on the top. It's not It's not real domed. And then when we put the fabric, it's going to cover any gaps that there are. So it's going to look even more realistic. I mean, it's not going to look realistic, but you know what I mean. You'll know exactly what it's supposed to be. All right, let's get all of these done. Thank you, Dorothea. Thanks for celebrating. Okay. Five more. Oh, that one's already glued in. Three more. Thank you, Jackie. Okay. Last one. All right. Okay. So that's what we have. All right. Thank you, Dorothea. Hi, Lynn. Thanks for sprinkling. Okay, so let's take our fabric. We're just going to cut strips. These strips are like about 1/2 inch, and I'm just tearing them so that we've got sort of a frayed edge on both sides. I don't know how many I'm going to need, but I'm going to guess 6. You think I should make the strips thinner? I think it's going to be hard to make them too much thinner. Okay, so that's 5. I've got 5 strips here. I know, Jackie. He's doing great, though. Okay, so we're not going to do the distress ink on these just yet. We're going to do it afterwards, and that way it's going to make it look kind of like it's been baked. All right, so I'm going to take and put glue right around this edge here. And I'm hoping that the glue is going to hold up for me and not dry too fast. And just as I put it on there, I'm just pinching it. It is drying too fast, even though I've got it on high. I think it's because I used so much glue on the inside here that it has just gotten cool. So it needs to kind of warm up a little bit. I may need to change my tip so I can get more glue out at a time. I've got my precision tip on right now. So let me grab a different tip. Here it is. Here's the regular one. And let's change that out. Bear with me for a second. Let me get some of this excess glue cut off. Let me see if I can get this replaced. Go. All right, put on the regular one. Okay, see if that helps. Thank you, Jackie. I cut back on sugar and on carbs and increased my protein. We are making a little muffin tin. It's going to have pumpkin pies in it. So that's what I'm working on right now. All right, so let's try this again. Since this is metal, you know, metal is a, what do you call it? Conductor, is that the right word? It like just takes all the heat out of the hot glue, and it just gets cooled so fast. Okay, now we're cooking with oil. Literally. All right. So we just pinch it, and I'm making sure that some of it is overlapping. So what do y'all think? Is it too big? Let's keep going. I can always peel it off if we don't like it. So just do plenty of hot glue, and then you can just kind of slide it. Just kind of pinch your fingers together. Jackie, she's doing good. Thanks for asking. All right, it may be too big. What do we think? Is it too big? Let me see if I can cut a smaller piece, and let's try a smaller piece, see if it looks any better. I'm worried about if I can make the smaller piece work. All right. Let's try over here with a smaller piece without burning myself, hopefully. think I do like it smaller. It's looking a little bit better, I think. What do we think? It looks like a sunflower. Even the smaller one looks like a sunflower. Let me get my vintage photo. I think once they're done, it'll be really cute. I think. So I'm just going to take my vintage photo and just go over this. Can y'all see that? So what do we think? Does that work or not? Dorothea says a lot better. Okay, good. It's just a larger one. So we'll keep it smaller. So let me cut some pieces. So I'm going, I don't know. Let's see, technically this is about a 1/2 inch. Before I must have had more than a 1/2 inch. Yes, I agree. And I thought about doing some little white pom-poms in the middle for the whipped cream. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's get the rest of these crusts on. Just hold one end and pinch the fabric as you twist it around. And y'all, actually, if you don't get it quite right, you can kind of just peel it right back up and glue it down. You do need a lot of glue because you want to be able to, you're kind of moving the glue and kind of pinching it. So you do need a little bit more glue than what you think. Okay. All right, so let's keep going. We're going to do all of these. Insulation. Do you mean like the spray foam insulation for your for the pie filling? You could do that. You wouldn't need much of it at all. Oh, I gotta hurry. I gotta go get grip in here in 20 minutes. Okay. I think this is gonna work. I think it's gonna work. So it looks like these strips are, I'm needing like 1 per pie. So it looks like they're about 12 inches, 16 inches or so long. And I'm using the whole thing to do 1 pie. Thank you, Dana. Or Danae. I think that was Danae that said that. Looks good enough to eat. Do y'all like pumpkin pie? I like pumpkin pie a lot better than I like pumpkin flavored things. I'm not a huge pumpkin spice fan, but I do love pumpkin pie. You could also do the same thing with so many other things. You know, you could do like little apple pies or cherry pies. Blueberry pies. All right, we're getting there. You love pumpkin pie? It's one of Andrew's favorites as well. I usually make a homemade one, but to be honest, I mean, at Thanksgiving, not many people like it. Not many people eat it. So I told Andrew last year I made like 3 pies, and I said, you know, I'm not doing this again because I make these pies and I take them, and you know, with all the other desserts, people don't usually eat the pumpkin pie. It's not, at least in my family, the pumpkin pie is not the popular one. Everyone wants the pecan pie. So, no, Jackie, actually, for this I would not. I am using high temp on this, and the reason why is because you want that glue to stay hot so that you can move the fabric around. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to squish the fabric together the way that we want to in order to create this, you know, gathered look. Oh, really, Dana? Okay. Dee Dee, I used some big pom-poms from Dollar Tree, these right here, and I just cut them in half. And then I covered them using, that one's way too thin, I think. I covered them using some fabric and some rubber bands. That sounds good, Jennifer. Yeah, this year I will not be making any pumpkin pies. I'll make something else. Yeah, you could do a different pie in each spot. That would be fun. Somehow I ran out of fabric on this one. I don't know how that happened exactly, but that must have been a shorter piece. Okay. Let's keep going. We're getting there. Thanks for hanging in there with me. You know what? I think that I'm going to stop because I don't have enough time to finish this with y'all. So I think I'm going to stop and show you what I'm going to do after I get all of the crust on. But this is how it's looking, which is turning out really cute. So then I'm just taking my vintage photo distressed ink and I'm just going to go over the crust with it. And that is just going to give it this baked look as well as this distressed look, which we want, of course. So it's getting the top section more than the bottom where it's been gathered. And so it gives it that pie, baked pie look. Okay, so you'll just do that to all the pies. And I might even take a darker one, like espresso, ground espresso. And just ever so slightly go over this, which is just going to brown it and darken it a little bit more. So it's just nicely brown in the oven. So it's just another layer. Just be gentle with this one because it is dark. Okay. So that's the browning on the crust. Then let's grab pom-poms. Let me find my pom-poms here. See if I've got some. I don't know if I do or not. I know I've got... Okay, see some little ones down here in the bottom. I think looks pretty good. If I can find enough of them. Let's hope we can find enough. There's another, I need 3 more. Come on. Oh, there's one. Okay, 2 more. It's not looking promising. Well, darn. Okay, let's see about this other size. So close. I don't know if I'm going to have enough of any of the sizes. Three, 6, 7, 8, 10. OMG. 11. One short. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Y'all. Isn't that dumb? Let's see if I might have some in this large. I found a little one in there, but we were short 2 of the little ones. We're short 1 of each. How rude. How rude. Well, what do we do? I don't know what we'll do, but y'all see the plan. Okay, so that's the plan. I may come back live with y'all and finish this, but I gotta go get Griffin. So we'll do the pom-poms. I really like the smaller ones better. I think they look better than the large ones. Don't y'all think they look better? So hopefully we can do the little pom-poms, and then we'll probably do like a little tag of some kind, maybe even like a bow. We might do a hanger. Did I find another one? There it is. I'll just maybe keep looking and hope I can find one more little pom-pom. But anyway, so that's the idea. I'll probably come back live and finish this with y'all, and we'll finish decorating it. But thank you all so much for joining me. I hope y'all enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys